Hello friends, I am Hardik Patel. Welcome back to Python tutorial for beginners. So today I am going to explain slicing. So let's start. So slicing can be used in a string data type, list and tuple. So in all three data types can be work with this slicing, right? So I will explain for only one, but all the methods can be applied to others too, right? So let's start with list. So let me take an example of one list, that is L is equal to, so I will take a values of cube. So 1's cube is 1, 2's cube is 8, 3's cube is 27, then 64, then 125. Okay, so obviously I have explained that how index works in Python, but still I want to explain again so you can understand better way. So and we are going to use indexes various time in this tutorial. So let me show you that in this. Here you can see that this is values 1, 8, 27, 64 and 125. Okay, so if you start from starting, positive indexes we talk about, that is this is called positive index, that is 0 for 1, 1 for 8, 2 for 27, 3 for 64 and then 4 for 125, and obviously for next element it will be the 5, right? But when we talk about negative index, so negative index actually it starts from last element. So whenever you want to get any last element, then you can use this negative index, right? Because you sometimes if you don't want to get the length, and without getting the length you can get the last element using -1 index, that is called negative index. Okay, so we are going to use this negative index and positive index both in this tutorial, and let's see. Okay, now you understand, right? So how indexes are assigned to the values of the list, right? Okay, so let's do the slicing. Okay, so first there are three arguments. Slicing works like this. And one more thing, using slicing you cannot change the values of any element, right? So L is a list, but you cannot change the values just using slicing, right? So because you have to assign some values to the slicing, then you can change definitely. Okay, so let's do that. L of 0, it will give you the first element, like that 1, right? So if I give 5, it will give me the index out of range, list index out of range. Why? Because we have only 0 to 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? So now if I use negative index like this, -1, that will give you 125 because this is last element. And now similar to that, if I give -4, sorry, it is minus plus, that is why it is giving us latest element. Okay, -4, then -5, yes. So this is -5. Now you can see. Now if you talk about range, you can give the range to get the values. So 0 to 3, like this. So what it does, so 0 is start index, so it will start from 0. 3 is our end index, but in this slicing that end index will not be considered in the return values. That means 0, 1 and 2, 3 will not be considered in returning the values. So let's see, 0, that is 1, 2, 1, that is 8, and then 2 is 27, and then 3 is 64, but 64 is not returned because in this that is like that, this is the standard in the Python that slicing works. So this is first index, last index, but and so you can see that first index less than equal to x less than last index, right? So it works until the last index, but last index value will not be included. This is about values. Okay, this is just formula I am explaining. Now that is third argument. This is, you cannot call the argument, but these are two columns they are giving, separating three values, and obviously it is like the arguments they have implemented. So first is first index colon, then last index, then colon, then that is jump value. So if you want alternate values, let's say for example I want every second element, then sorry every second element, but I want to start from 1. Let's look at that. So 0 to 5, that is all elements, and now I want every second. So it will give you that first, right? Then 8 is skipped, then 27, then 65 is skipped, and 125. Now if I want 8, I want to start from 8, 64, and then so on, right? Then just you need to change like this, 0 instead of 0, just say 1. Now it will give you 8, 64, and if there is further values, then it will give us, right? So that's how it works. Now negative index, let's use negative index in this case. So without jump value we will see first. So obviously you have to give indexes like this from start to end. So what is the index of 1? -5. So if I want 1, 8, 27 using negative index, then I have to obviously give that -5 to -2. Let's take an example for that. L -1 and -1. Okay, enter. So it will give you 1, 8, 27 and 64. We have given -1, but that is not considered, and that is 125. -1 is 25. See, so it is not given. But if you want, then obviously you have to give. Yes, there is no index we have further. So obviously if you want 125 as well, then you just remove that like this. Even normal colon will also work. Obviously you have to give colon because you want range, you want all the values, otherwise it will give you only -5 index value only. Okay, now let's look at the jump negative value, negative jump value. So what it was giving, 8 and 64, that is 1, then it was skipped, then 64. Now I am just changing that jump value 2 to -2, but it is not giving me anything, right? It is giving blank value. But if I want the same, okay, but what negative does, negative jump value, negative jump value first, this is just first preference in this list. So first preference will be this -2, and when you use -2, that means your list will be reversed first. So your list will be reversed, like your list will be traversed from last to first element, that is 125, 64, 27, 8 and then 1. But indexing will be the same. So for 1 it will be the 0 and -5 anytime, but now it works like this: 125, 64, 27, 8 and 1. That means you have to give this first and start value from this side, from right side, not the left side. Earlier we were giving, right? So what is 125? That is -1, and if you want all, then you just give the colon and put blank there. Otherwise if you want until this 8, then just give -5. So let's look at that. So I am giving -1 to -5. Okay, now it is giving me 125 and 27. Why? Because we have started from these to -5, that is 1, and it will not be considered. So that is why it is giving us value that 125, 1 is skipped because minus 2 is jump, so jump value is 2, but it is negative, that is why we are traversing from last end. Now 65 is skipped, then 27, then it is again skipped, and then 1 is not included because the last index we have given -5. And if you want that, then just remove -5 and just keep blank between these two columns. It will give you the 1 as well. So what is the basic purpose of this we use infrequently? So that is this one. This is not required to give all the values, just you give like that, it will give the answer also, because it will take all the elements if you don't give any first index and last index. So if you want to reverse any list, just give this. This is just shortcut to reverse any list, right? So it works with string as well. Let's say for example Hardik. Okay, now I'm just doing like this, colon colon -1, and then this. You can see KIDREH, because string is also a list of character, right? It's a list of character. If you have heard about that in a C language, we were creating string using list of character, right? So it's the same. Okay, now another thing I want to explain that how list works in a assigning to other variable. So there is L. Now if I assign L to M for temporary, because I want to change something and I want to use in a different way, and in future I want to use L again, that is completely original, right? So this is just for original, and if you want to make some changes, that is why you are duplicating and just modifying, right? So let's do that. So if I append something to M, append 216, right? Now M has one more element, that is 216. This is 6 cube, and now let's see the original list. Oh, L has 216 as well, right? So that is, we didn't want. We want to append that value to only M, not to L, because L is my original values. I don't want to change anything into L. So how can we tackle this situation? So it generally happens in many situations. So you will face those situations if you properly develop Python application, then you will face this. So to tackle this situation, we have one library, that is copy. So just use that, import copy. Okay, now copy to dot to deep copy, and then inside that just give L and assign to N. Okay, now N has the same, L has the same, M has the same, right? So L is our original. Now if I have changed something to N, to append, now appending 343, that is 7 cube, right? Now let's look at the N. Yes, 343 is appended. Now look at the M, it doesn't has any value changed. Then let's look at the original, it is also not changed. So you can use deep copy to make a duplicate and just want to change something inside that, then you can use this. So same thing, it works with a tuple, but tuple is immutable and string is immutable. So in some cases you will not need this deep copy, right? Because both are immutable. But at least sizing you can use in both way, list, tuple and string. Okay, so that's it in this video. I think this is very become lengthy, but it was required to explain everything in the one video. So thank you for watching. If you like my videos, then please subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.